LCARA Ham Radio presents a Time Machine Tuesday vintage video release. Hello folks, this is Chris, KY4CKP, and today on LCARA Ham Radio, we're going to go over some of the recent changes and maintenance and upgrades we've made to our DStar repeater at our main repeater site. So that's what's coming up next on LCARA Ham Radio. Well, folks, you know it's that time of year, and we had our recent workday at our main repeater site, and of course the yard crew came with us. And if you have an outdoor repeater site, some form of local maintenance is always necessary. Lawn mowing, weed eating, spraying for for weeds, and watch out for ticks. I know on our little tiny patch here at the top of this hill, I think we run about 10,000 head of ticks. So watch out for those little buggers. But, it's just part of maintaining your sites, and we've been showing this off and on, and it's just part of things. So we really appreciate the yard crew, maintenance crew being up there with us. All right, so on this repeater workday, a big part of what we were doing, other than the yard maintenance, which is something that almost always needs working on, maybe in the depth of winter it doesn't, but is we were going to do some work with our DStar repeater that we had put in place. And a few things sort of have happened or changed or needed to happen or change. We have internet access, which we didn't have originally when this went in, which has been a big boost to allow us to work with that more fully. But we had noticed with the DStar repeater that some other local hams had built for us, and they've done a wonderful job and helped supply these units in our region of Kentucky. But we noticed our radios, these are older radios, and we noticed they had drifted some, and they weren't quite properly on frequency. And so we needed to pull the unit out, which we did one day, KY4BDP, Brian did, and we took it to another one of our members, and he knew a radio shop, and he was able to to sneak our unit in the back door and get them to tune the radios back properly on frequency, which is a huge help for us. So we got that work done. We got it back, put it in the hands of, again, one of our hams, KY4DAG, Austin, and he did some other work on this. He took the MMDVM and he put it in this custom printed 3D case. I think he got the design probably off Thingiverse, and did a few other little things. He's built a custom cable to take the D-sub 9-pin serial over and connect that to the repeater hat on the MMDVM. He also kind of put together a little 12-volt USB micro adapter to power the Raspberry Pi. And of course, all this kind of work at his home QTH was done using a dummy load to make sure we weren't causing any problems anywhere or on any repeaters or anything until we were actually ready to do proper official transmissions and things. So we got all of that work done, and we got the unit back. And so today was the day on this work day where we wanted to reinstall the repeater up at our main repeater shack location. Now there was one other thing we wanted to do at this time. We have an APRS unit up there, and we had this DStar. Well, we decided to change which of the antennas they were using. The APRS happened to be on a taller antenna that was very near the top of our tower. We have a 100-foot tower on a pretty good little mountain, little knob, as we like to call them here in Kentucky. But we decided to move the DStar up to that higher antenna, give it a little bit more reach, and move the APRS down to a little bit lower antenna. We like to provide APRS functionality in the region, and used to do so many years ago, and we've got that back in recently. We had a video on that. But we decided to flip those antennas. We just felt like the greater reach was probably more beneficial to anybody who might like to use DStar. And in our region of Kentucky, South Central Kentucky, DStar is one of, if not the most popular digital forms of radio there are. Now, we have Yaesu repeaters, so we of course have System Fusion and things. We're also looking probably eventually to put in some DMR and other things, and hopefully even tie all those together in a special project, which hopefully will come up later this year. We'll see. So that was a big part of what we were going to do at this workday. So in the next section, let's kind of jump into that work, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So we're going to bring you folks right back. All right, folks, so here we are in the shack, and we're just going to kind of go over reinstalling the DStar unit, kind of switching it over to the higher antenna on our tower, switching it with our APRS unit. We didn't have to do that, but we just felt like with the two services, the DStar repeater could probably benefit with the maybe 30, 40 feet of extra height compared to the APRS. It's nice having the APRS. I know a lot of folks like to use that and play around with that. So we're just looking at this refurbished DStar unit that KK4 KTV, Brian, one of our members, as we call him, Thing 2, he knows a guy, and it's always good to have members who know a guy for additional skills and capabilities. Even if your club has a good amount of skills and capabilities, it never hurts to even bring in some outside help now and then. And he helped get this unit built for us with some other local hams, and is a big proponent of DStar. And in our part of South Central Kentucky, as we said, it's probably the most popular digital form out there. More northern central where I live, DMR is probably the most popular. We've got a little bit of everything going on around Kentucky, like most places do. One of our future projects, we're hoping to create a digital hotspot, if you will, sort of a repeater class hotspot to maybe link almost every kind of digital and analog together. But we'll see if we can bring that together, and we'll certainly bring you folks along if we do. But here we are. We were just reinstalling the DStar unit and doing some further testing, making sure things worked. Austin had done the testing at his QTH, and everything looked good. But once you've moved equipment around and bumped wires and things, I know those of us in the IT world, you kind of have to recheck things because you never know what kind of wire you bumped or connection you bumped or something. But everything was good. Everything looked great. And we put it back in here. Again, we ended up moving it a little bit to this other rack you see right here in this screenshot. So we could put it on the antenna that's higher on our tower. And we just felt like DStar was going to be a better use of that particular antenna versus the one that's a little bit lower, maybe 30 feet, maybe 40 feet lower on the tower. Still a good place for APRS because, again, we're on a pretty good sized knob. It's the biggest hill or knob in that area, so it's still going to get good coverage for APRS. So we put it back in here, connected up our power and everything tested out. As you'll see in a minute, we now have internet at our location through a microwave connection, and that's allowing us to open up some capabilities that we had been wanting to be able to do for certainly a couple of years, really more than that, I'm sure. And so it's really helping us open up some things. We'll probably be taking a look at System Fusion and probably DMR at some point in the future and stuff, because again, we're in a vacation type area with the lake and camping and hunting and fishing and all kinds of stuff. So we get people from all over, and of course different people have different interests. So that's one of the reasons we have GMRS as well, even though it's not complete pure ham. It requires an FCC license, but it's used by a lot of folks. You can get that license, and it covers your entire family for 10 years. So we provide as many services as we can. We are always looking to get the maximum utilization out of our equipment and help as many folks who are moving to our area or visiting our area, as well as ourselves. We like to enjoy our equipment and use it as well. So we'll wrap this one up. This is Chris, KY4CKP, for Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association 73.